Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Cook with IG. And on today's episode, I'll be showing you all how to make Moin with leaf. So if you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button and notification bell. I'll just take you through my ingredients as usual. We have our Moin wrapper, we have our beans, we have our peppers, crayfish, onions, ginger and garlic. So I already have some pre-washed beans and I'm just going to show you how I did that. So in my blender, I'll be pouring my beans and I'll just be adding some water, and I'll show you the level at which the water should stop so that it doesn't pour out when you're blending. So this is the level we want our water to stop. Remember, we're not blending the beans to a smooth paste. We just want to get the skin off the back of the beans. So we're just going to do this on lower speed for about a minute or 2 minutes. This depends on the quantity of beans you're actually using. So for this, I'll be blending it for just a minute. And I'll do that as fast as possible because I don't want my beans soaked. Remember, when it's soaked, it becomes very soft and it could blend into pieces. Now if you look carefully, you'll see that there are white stuffs floating above the water, which is totally okay. It's just the chaff that have separated from the beans. So I'm just going to turn it into a bowl and wash with my hands. So we'll just go back to our traditional way of washing beans with our hands, and you'll find out that the back of the beans has begun to separate from the beans itself. And once I am satisfied with the level at which I have washed my beans, I'll just add a lot of water and separate the chaff from the beans. So that's I've done, and you can see how the chaff is inside the sieve, and I'm just going to keep doing that, straining and separating, straining and picking until I'm done. So now I have cleaned the beans to my desired taste, and I'm just going to set it aside and prepare my other ingredients. I have my onions already washed, I have my ginger washed, I'm going on with the garlic, after which I'll go with my peppers and my crayfish. So remember to always wash your ingredients. We don't want dirt in our food, remember. So as soon as we are done with all our ingredients, the next step is to blend our beans into a very smooth paste. So now I have gone ahead to blend my beans, and you can see how beautifully it's looking. So I have my vegetable oil. You can use any oil of your choice. I have some eggs. You can either add fish or some brisket bones if you want to. Then I have my salt and some seasoning cubes. And of course, we're not leaving out my already washed moin leaves. So if you remember at the beginning of this video, you'll find out that the moin leaf had some stalks. Don't throw the stalks away, because we're going to be using it in due time. So first I'll be adding some salt, and remember that the quantity of salt you'll be using for your moin depends on the quantity of moin you're making. I'll follow that up with my stock cubes, after which I'll go in with my vegetable oil. Like I said earlier, you can use any oil of your choice. Coconut oil, palm oil, whichever you prefer. So the reason why we're adding oil into our batter is because we won't want our moin at the end of the day to stick to the sides of our pouch. Either our moin wrappers, cups, whatever we decide to use in wrapping our moin. So I'll just stir that in rigorously so that all our ingredients can be well incorporated. So it is important that you know that the thickness of your batter will determine how strong or light or however your moi moi would be when it comes out, when it is ready. So because we don't want our batter or our moi moi to be too tough when it is done, and our batter is already too thick, we're just going to thin it out a little with some warm water, and we're going to stir until we've gotten our desired consistency. So I'll just be tasting for salt. Remember that it's important that you always taste for salt when you're making your moi moi, because you don't want your moi moi coming out tasteless. So I'll just be adding in some more salt because you know I have already thinned out my batter and my moi moi has almost lost its taste. So we'll just give it another quick stir and taste it one more time. Then we'll move over to the next stage, which is preparing our pot for cooking. Remember I told you not to throw away the stalk from your moi moi leaf. Reasons being that it serves as a base in your pot so that your moi moi leaf does not get stuck to the pot or get burnt when the water dries out. So the next stage is preparing our leaves. So as you can see, I have 2 leaves or 2 wrappers in my hands, and I'm going to just flip it upside down and then wrap it like a cone. Remember that you're wrapping like a cone, and don't forget to secure the tip and just fold it in exactly just like that. You will hear a kind of crack. Don't be afraid, it's very normal. So now you have created a cone and you're just going to pour in your batter. And I'm just going to add in my eggs. Then you flip over to seal it up and fold backwards like upside down, and you put it gently inside your pot. Now remember that your pot is on medium heat, and because you're going to be dropping the moi moi inside the pot, you don't want the water to burn your fingers. So you're just going to try and do this as fast as possible. Please always remember to secure the tips and the edges of your moi moi wrappers when you're folding in, because if you don't do that, there are high chances and high possibilities that it will spill over and there will be a breakout in your pot when you are cooking, and we don't want any of that. So I'll just repeat this process with the rest of the batter and my remaining moi moi wrappers until we're done. Please always remember that it is important to arrange your moi moi properly in the pot. Place it side by side because you don't want any of it spilling out or your wrappers loosening up inside the pot. So when there is a breakout, it looks like this one. So because I did not properly secure it, it's likely to spill, and that's why I have to be careful to avoid putting anything on top. So I'll just be covering the pot for about 30 minutes and my moi moi is ready. So I'll just be unwrapping this to have a taste of what we have just prepared. You know, in Nigeria where I come from, moi moi is a special delicacy that is served at parties, used as a side for jollof rice, fried rice, salads, name it. You can even have this sweet moi moi with garri and cold water. So I'll just be having a taste of this. And don't forget to try out this recipe and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Thank you all for staying in. I love you all. Bye.